The serpent set the board for 40 years. 2 thrones, 1 war, 1 hidden hand of tears. The eastern king, the western caliph's blade, and both were funded by the same crusade. The hidden hand dealt weapons to the east, then turned and fed the western war machine's beast. The serpent played both colors at the feast. No side could claim the hidden hand was theirs. The board drank blood while neither side knew where. The chemistry of death was sold to both. The serpent watched and swore a double oath, to shield the caliph and to arm the growth of Persian fire, the ancient enmity. The serpent's chessboard drank the blood for free. And who did fund the carnage of this game? The hidden empire, faceless and unnamed. It dealt the cards and fanned the double flame. The eastern army and the western front, both paid in blood and both were made to hunt. The board was set in sand, the hidden faceless hand, the serpent's double brand, the burning of the land. The serpent's chessboard, black and white the same. The hidden empire played a double game. The pawns were nations, kings were bought and sold. The serpent's chessboard never groweth old. The serpent's chessboard, every square a grave. The serpent's chessboard, every move a slave. Black and white, the hidden hand that moved them all. The serpent's chessboard, watch the pieces fall. The serpent's chessboard, 40 years of sand, and no one saw the hidden funding hand. The oil fields burned beneath the iron sky. The hidden empire never questioned why. Both armies bled and neither knew the lie. The serpent sat above the burning plain and counted every body, every gain. The chemical horizon blurred the dead. The hidden hand kept feeding every thread of war, of profit, of the signals bred. And when the truce was called, the board remained. The serpent only shifted and refrained. The chessboard was not born in 81. It was the pattern underneath the sun. The serpent's oldest game is never done. The hidden hand, the double oath, the lie. Before the desert wars, before the sky. The board was never clean, the hidden hand unseen, the pattern of the fiend. The serpent's chessboard, black and white the same. The hidden empire played chessboard never groweth old. The serpent's chessboard, every square a grave. The serpent's chessboard, every move a slave. Black and white, the hidden hand that moved them all. The serpent's chessboard, watch the pieces fall. The serpent's chessboard, 40 years of sand. And no one saw the hidden funding hand. Heart stop. And the voice came from the iron tower, saying, draw the line across the desert hour. The adversary doth amass his power, and the line once drawn shall turn to blood and flower. They drew a line across the burning plain. The iron eagles gathered for the strain. The signal spake of one man's evil reign. The broadcast built the enemy from air, and every screen did show the villain there. The line was not in sand, but in the mind, the frequency that made the nations blind to why the adversary was designed. The tower needed war to feed its breath. The line in the sand became the line of death. The oil was not spoken of aloud. The signal draped the motive in a shroud of liberation, justice, honor, proud. But underneath the flag, the ancient thirst, the hidden empire's hand had been rehearsed. The line was drawn in haste. The desert was the waste. The signal's iron taste, the war that was embraced. The line in the sand, the gathering of steel. The line in the sand, the broadcast made it real. The enemy was built before the fight. The line in the sand would bleed into the night. The line in the sand, the boundary of the lie. The line in the sand, the desert's battle cry. The iron eagles gathered where the signal called. The line in the sand, the threshold of the mauled. The line in the sand, the tower drew it deep, and all the world did watch the desert weep. The armies massed beneath the burning light. The signal counted down the coming night. The screens across the earth did show the sight, and no one asked what lay beneath the oil. The line was drawn to sanctify the spoil. The adversary was a former friend. The hidden hand had armed him to the end, then turned and made him monster to defend. The line in the sand was drawn across a debt. The serpent's hand was setting up the bet. The build-up was the opera's overture. The towers of the broadcasts made it pure. The line in sand was moral, clean and sure. The signal made the question disappear, and all the world did lean its ear to hear. Drawn in blood before the iron flood. The desert understood. The line in the sand, the gathering of steel. The line in the sand, the broadcast made it real. The enemy was built before the fight. The line in the sand would bleed into the night. The line in the sand, the boundary of the lie. The line in the sand, the desert's battle cry. The iron eagles gathered where the signal called. The line in the sand, the threshold of the mall. The line in the sand, the tower drew it deep, and all the world did watch the desert weep. And the signals show the missiles in the night. Green trace of fire against the Baghdad light. A war made clean upon the television screen. The highway of the dead was never seen. They called it surgical, the iron rain. The precision of the signal's bright campaign. The screens did show the target, not the stain. A war spectacle as light as sound. The bodies were not seen upon the ground. The tower beamed the footage to the world. The bombs descending beautifully unfurled. The signal's narrative was clean and pearled. No blood, no scream, no child, no burning flesh. Only the green and black, the iron mesh. The highway of the dead was never filmed. The column of the fleeing overwhelmed by fire from above, by iron helmed. The broadcast cut away before the sight of what precision looked like in the light. The screen did show the clean, the dead were kept unseen. The signal's war machine, the surgical obscene. Surgical strike, the signal's clean design. Surgical strike, the televised divine. No blood upon the screen that thou hast seen. Surgical strike, the dead between the green. Surgical, surgical, the iron from above. Surgical, surgical, the signal's iron glove. The missiles in the night, the tracer's pretty light. Surgical, surgical, the death beyond the sight. Surgical, the war was marketed as clean. And what was surgical was never truly seen. The storm was 40 days and 40 nights, a biblical duration for the sights. The signal counted down the satellite lights. And when the ground war came 100 hours, the broadcast called it victory and flowers. The highway death was buried in the spin. The signal would not let the horror in. A column of the dead was not the win. The broadcast needed heroes, needed flags, not interviews with body bags and rags. The mother of all battles, so they named the desert storm that left the world in flame. The signal's clean war was a lie untamed. The surgical had severed more than bone. The truth was left to rot beside the stones. The screen went dark at last. The clean war was the past. The dead were holding fast. Surgical strike, the signal's clean design. Surgical strike, the televised divine. No blood upon the screen that thou hast seen. Surgical strike, the dead between the green. Surgical strike, the iron from above. Surgical strike, the signal's iron glove. The missiles in the night, the tracer's pretty lights. Surgical strike, the death beyond the sight. Surgical, the war was marketed as clean. And what was surgical was never truly seen. Half a million voices too small to count. The signal said the price was worth the amount. The children of the ledger, unnamed, unseen. The broadcast never showed them on the screen. The war was finished, but the dying stayed. An iron wall around the land was laid. The signal called it sanctioned, not a blade. But medicine and food could not get through. The children of the price, the chosen few. The water turned to sickness underground. The infants in the clinics made no sound. The signal's calculation was profound. 500,000 was the price they named, and one who spoke said worth it unashamed. The tower never counted these as dead. The sanction was a quiet war instead. The broadcast spun, the story turned its head. The children were the ledger's silent line, the price of keeping oil beneath the sign. The counting never ceased, the smallest of the least. The signal's iron feast. The children of the East, the children of the price, the cost unnamed. The children of the price, the signal shamed. 500,000 voices understand. The children of the price, the hidden hand. The children of the iron price. The children, the ledger never counted twice. The signal said the cost was worth the oil below. The children that the world would never know. The price was 500,000 small. The children that the signal buried all. The sanctions were the war without the guns. The slow attrition of the little ones. The broadcast called it pressure, that reruns. But water and the medicine and the bread were counted in the sanction of the dead. She spoke the mathematics of the cost, the worth of it, the number of the loss. The signal nodded, never saw the frost that settled on the 500,000 graves. The children were the cost that no one saves. The tower's logic was a simple sum. The oil was worth the silence of the dumb. The children of the ledger would become a footnote in the archives of the sand. The children of the price, the hidden hand. The little ones are still, the ledger never filled, the signal's iron will. The children of the price, the cost unnamed. The children of the price, the signal shamed. 500,000 voices understand. The children of the price, the hidden hand. The children of the iron price. The children, the ledger never counted twice. The signal said the cost was worth the oil below. The children that the world would never know. The price was 500,000 small. The children. He stood before the council of the world, a vial in his hand, a banner unfurled. The weapons that he named were never there. The signal spoke them into being in the video was written in the tower. The evidence was manufactured power. The signal built the case in half an hour. The tubes of aluminum were spun into a threat that justified the gun. The vial was the visual, the proof. The signal needed substance for the roof. Of war, of invasion, of the truth that was not truth but frequency and fear. The vial was the lie that made it clear. The Council of the Nations heard the case. The signal played upon the human race. The weapons were a certainty, a space between what was and what the broadcast said. The vial was the phantom of the dead. The vial held no threat, the signal's longest bet. The weapons never met, the lie we can't forget. The vial, the evidence that was not real. The vial, the signal made the nations kneel. The weapons of destruction never found. The vial was the broadcast hollow sound. The vial, the evidence that was not real. The vial, the signal made the nations kneel. The weapons of destruction never found. The vial was the broadcast hollow sound. The vial, the glass that held the phantom threat. The vial, the signal's most convincing bet. The weapons that were not the evidence of air. The vial, the frequency of manufactured fear. The vial was empty and the world went to war. The vial, the signals work forevermore. The tubes, the centrifuges, and the spores were conjured out of signals and of doors that opened into deserts and into shores where no weapon waited in the sand, only the broadcast's iron, empty hand. The one who held the vial knew the score. He was the signal's vessel, nothing more. The frequency that spoke of war before the war existed in the dossier. The vial was the ghost that made them pay. And when the weapons were not found at all, the signal turned and blamed the protocol. The faulty information and the fall of certainty into the desert dust. The vial was the phantom of their trust. Made the nations kneel. The weapons of destruction never found. The vial was the broadcast hollow sound. The vial, the glass that held the phantom threat. The vial, the signal's most convincing bet. The weapons that were not the evidence of air. The vial, the frequency of manufactured fear. The vial was empty and the world went to war. The vial, the signals work forevermore. The sky above the ancient city burned, a lesson in the thunder that returned. Mission accomplished, the banner said, while the nation's bones were stripped and bled. They called it shock and awe, the iron rain, the thunder of the empire's bright campaign. The signals show the fire and the flame, and then the banner on the carrier's deck. Mission accomplished, the victorious spec. The city fell and then the looting came. The signal watched the pillage and the flame. The music the chaos was the price of freedom, but the freedom was a vice. The army was disbanded by decree, 250,000 men, no enemy. Now turn to insurrection suddenly. The signal had no answer for the void. The storm had left the desert unemployed. The shock, the awe, the sound, the city's burning ground, the signal's iron crown, the banner that was bound. Shock and awe, the thunder of the Iron Age. Shock and awe, the signal turned another page. Mission accomplished, the banner that they flew. Shock and awe, the lie that everybody knew. Shock and awe, the signal turned another page. Mission accomplished, the banner that they flew. Shock and awe, the lightning on the ancient sand. Shock and awe, the thunder of the hidden hand. The city burned and the signal called it victory. Shock and awe, the frequency of history. The banner flew and the mission was complete. Shock and awe, the signal's iron dark deceit. The prison of the shame, the photographs, the signal could not hide the aftermath. The hooded men, the wires, the towers laugh. The broadcast tried to call it something less, but what was done had stripped the signal's dress. The insurgency rose from the disbanded men. The signal had no story for it then. The civil war, the sect, the slaughter pen. The storm had birthed the chaos without end. The signal had no narrative to spend. The tower turned its face and spoke of home. The signal pivoted to other foam. The desert bled and bled beneath the dome of shock and awe that was a hollow cry. The signal never answered for the why. The banner rotted fast. The shock was never past. The dead were holding fast. Shock and awe, the thunder of the Iron Age. Shock and awe, the signal turned another page. Mission accomplished, the banner that they flew. Shock and awe, the lightning on the ancient sand. Shock and awe, the thunder of the hidden hand. The city burned and the signal called it victory. Shock and awe, the frequency of history. The banner flew and the mission was complete. Shock and awe, the signal's iron dark deceit. And when the storm had passed across the land, the vacuum was the work of iron hands. From the chaos something darker was reborn. The signal looked away, the world was torn. The storm had passed but left a cavity, a hollow where the iron grip would be. And in the hollow rose an entity that was not there before the shock and awe. The signal's orphan rose without a law. The armies of the dark filled up the space. The tower's distant signal couldn't trace. The thing it birthed, the ruin of the place. The vacuum was the signal's greatest gift to everything the storm had come to live. The beheadings on the video, the knife, signal had no answer for the strife. The storm had given darker things to life, and now the world watched images of dread that made the signal turn its iron head. The vacuum gave them birth, the signal left the earth, the darkness proved its worth, the storm's ironic death. What the storm left, the hollow and the void. What the storm left, the signal's iron toy, the darkness that the iron rain had made. What the storm left, the debt that must be paid. What the storm left, the ruin and the dust. What the storm left, the signal's broken trust, the vacuum filled with darker things than what was there. What the storm left, the frequency of despair. The tower turned its face and spoke of other shores. What the storm left was the signal's endless wars. The refugees, the millions on the road, the signal's cameras never bore the load. The consequence was never to be showed. The storm had scattered nations into flight, and the broadcast turned its face from the night. The ancient cities of the plain were smashed, the towers' war had left the region gashed, and the signal pivoted, never lashed itself for what the iron rain had done. The storm was never over, never won. The pattern is the same in every age. The signal builds the war upon the page, then leaves the aftermath to rot and rage. The storm, the shock, the vial and the line are chapters in the serpent's old design. The storm was never done, the signal's setting sun. What was it that we won? What the storm left, the hollow and the void. What the storm left, the signal's iron toy, the darkness that the iron rain had made. What the storm left, the debt that must be paid. What the